sitting, rotating Wednesday, 21st February 2024 at 9 a.m. I now elect the clerk at the table to take us through the orders of the day.
Mr. Speaker, sir, order number 1, administration of power.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next.
Order number 3, messages.
Next.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion, removal from office by way of impeachment of the Deputy Governor of Kisii County Government by Honorable Wycliffe Siocha, Isongori, MCA.
Honorable Siocha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order number 45 of the Kisii County Assembly, Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion. Cognizant of the provisions of Article 181, subsection 1, A and C of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, that lays down the grounds upon which account the Deputy Governor may be removed from office of the Deputy Governor by way of impeachment, as read together with the procedure laid down under Section 33 of the County Government Act, as further read together with Standing Order number 60 and 61 of the Kisii County Assembly Standing Orders, and whereas the Article 10, as read together with Article 73, 74, 75, and Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, provides for accountability for state officers to the public for decisions and actions as key guiding principles of leadership and integrity. Further aware that Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, and 32 and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act provides for the General Leadership and Integrity Code to wit, breach of public, failing to carry out duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office and unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya, Articles 27, Article 23, subsection 2b, and Article 232, and practicing favorism, and engaging in corrupt or unethical practices, and engaging in actions that bully a person. And further aware that Section 11, subsection 1, subsection 2A1, C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act, that provides that a public officer shall not use his office to improperly enrich himself or others. And
Honorable Siocha, I can see you have written Article 10, 27 and 73, not 23. Can you confirm?
Thank you for the correction, Mr. Speaker.
The first page.
The first page of my motion, that is Article 10, Article 27, Article 73, subsection 2B, and Article 232.
Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you. And further aware of section 11, subsection 1, subsection 2, A, Roman 1, C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act that provides that a public officer shall not use his office to improperly enrich himself or others, and shall not accept favors from a person who has an interest that may be affected by carrying out of the public officer's duties, and shall not, for the personal benefit of himself or another, use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duties. And further, aware that section 6, subsection 1A, C, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the Bribery Act that provides a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a financial or other advantage intending that a relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of, or as a consequence of a person requesting for, or agreeing to receive, or accepting a financial or other advantage, an activity that is performed improperly by that person or another person. Mr. Speaker, further aware that the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, has duly failed to uphold the oath of office, and instead he has grossly violated the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and has abused the office, and his conduct is wanting. Mr. Speaker, the County Assembly now resolves to remove His Excellency Dr. Robert Onsare Monda from the office of the County Deputy Governor of Kisii by way of impeachment pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution of Kenya, subsection 1, A and C of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 33 of the County Governments Act 2012, and the County Assembly Standing Orders number 61, as read together with Standing Order number 60, on the following grounds. Ground 1, gross violation of the Constitution or another law. Mr. Speaker, whereas Article 179, subsection 4, first Deputy Chief Executive Power on the Deputy Governor, and whereas in consideration of the provisions of Article 10 and Article 73, subsection 1, A, 3 and 4 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, in so far as it connotes to the manner in which a state officer is expected to exercise assigned authority, Article 75, subsection 1 of the Constitution, as read together with sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and sections 9, 11, subsection 1, subsection 2A, 1, subsection C of the Public Officer Ethics, and obligates a state officer to behave in all senses in a manner that is devoid of compromising public or official interest in favor of personal interest. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor's actions of requesting for a bribe, receiving a bribe, is meant to compromise the integrity of the institution of WASCO, that is the Bushi Water and Sewerage Company, and the same is driven by nepotism, favorism, improper and ulterior motives, and for corrupt purposes incomplete disregard of the provisions of Article 73, subsection 2b, and Article 73, subsection 2c. Mr. Speaker, by virtue of the Deputy Governor requesting and receiving a bribe of 800,000 shillings, Kenya shillings, he is in breach of the provisions of Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya, which obligates public officers to observe the values and principles of public service that includes high standards of professional ethics, fair competition, and merits as the basis of appointment and promotion, and Article 73, subsection 2b of the Constitution of Kenya requires all state officers to be accountable to the public for their decisions and actions. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Robert Monda, violated Articles 10, 73, 75, and Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya, which binds state officers while discharging their duties in offices entirely. Mr. Speaker, the Bushi Water and Sanitation Company, WASCO, advertised for various jobs, vacancies in April, and the said Deputy Governor allotted one, Dennis Mokaya, Mokai's father, that he could secure his son a job upon being applied, which His Excellency Dr. Robert Monda calls a small fee of 800,000 shillings upon his shortlisting and being interviewed for the post. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Deputy Governor used his office to improperly confer benefits to himself when he solicited a sum of Kenya shillings 800,000 from one Dennis Mokaya and his family in the pretext to secure him a job for the same post of a commercial manager of WASCO, an entity of Kisii County government. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Governor received a sum of Kenya shillings 799,000 through M-Pesa platforms as follows. The first tranche was on 28 May 2023, a sum of Kenya shillings 249,000, sent in 3 tranches of Kenya shillings 150,000, that was tranche 1, 49,000 tranche 2, and 50,000 tranche 3 by Dennis Mokaya Mosati on telephone number 0725 48 7300 to the Deputy Governor's Safaricom number, line in 07 11 86 00 0700. Sorry. And the last was charged in the sum of Kenya shillings 300,000, which was delivered. No, sorry, Mr. Speaker. That was the first tranche. The second tranche was Kenya shillings 250,000, again to the Deputy Governor Safaricom line in 07 11 86 0700. And the last was charged in the sum of Kenyan shillings 300,000, which was delivered through service in Kusi Stadium in cash. The Deputy Governor, Mr. Speaker, in an attempt to influence the award of contract of employment to one Dennis Mokaya, the Deputy Governor sent via M-Pesa a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000 to the Managing Director of WASCO in order to influence her to employ the same Dennis Mokaya, which request was not acceded to by the Managing Director WASCO, and the money returned via M-Pesa to the Deputy Governor. For purposes of record, Mr. Speaker, the same transactions are being done using the lines that I read for one His Excellency Dr. Robert Osare Monda, to the line of the Managing Director of WASCO. Mr. Speaker, while realizing that the Deputy Chief Executive Authority faced in the Deputy Governor, was there a need, Mr. Speaker, for the Deputy Governor to grease the palms of the Managing Director of WASCO to give Dennis Mokaya the same post. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Dennis Mokaya complained to the County Assembly to intervene in its oversight capacity. Mr. Speaker, for purposes of record, the same Dennis Mokaya approached me, did an informal complaint to me, and I advised him to do a formal complaint to my office as the chair implementation, which is a select committee which is created pursuant to standing order number 189 of the standing orders of the Kisii County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Dennis Mokaya thereafter registered a complaint and recorded a statement with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission of Kenya, and submitted, among other documents, the advertisement from WASCO on the vacant post to be filled, his letter of application for the job, the invitation from WASCO to attend the interview, and his M-Pesa statement for the month of May 2023, detailing the transfer of the said amount of Kenya shillings 209,000 to the Deputy Governor from one Dennis Mokaya. Despite these huge payments made, Mr. Dennis Mokaya, Mr. Speaker, and his family never secured the job. Mr. Speaker, on informing the Deputy Governor that he will be forced to make a formal complaint to the Anti-Corruption Commission on this matter, the latter threatened his life and of his family. Consequently, it forced the former to go into hiding. Ground 2, abuse of office. Mr. Speaker, sir, the actions of the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Osare Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 500,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit on himself, and subsequently sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to WASCO Managing Director, so as to influence the award of contract of employment to one Dennis Mokaya, referred interviewee in this case. He has abused the office of the Deputy Governor and is in breach of Articles 73, 75 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. By breach of public trust, failing out to carry out the duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office to unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct the duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Articles 10, 27, 73, subsection 2b, and Article 232, and practicing favoritism, and engaging in a corrupt or unethical practice, and engaging in actions that repel a person. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Deputy Governor is in violation of Section 11, subsection 1, subsection 2, A1, C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act that provides a public officer shall not use his office to improperly enrich himself or others, and shall not accept favors from any person who has an interest that may be affected by the carrying out of the public officer's duties, and shall not, for the personal benefit of himself or another, use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duties, and as well as, Mr. Speaker, Section 6, subsection 1, A, C, subsection 2 and 3 of the Bribery Act that provides a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive or receives a financial or other advantage intending that a relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for or agreeing to receive or accepting a financial or any other advantage, an activity that is performed improperly by that person or another person. Mr. Speaker, he unilaterally used the office to intimidate and cower his family into hiding, fearing for their lives, in contravention of Section 34 of the Integrity Act of 2012. Mr. Speaker, sir, in furtherance of abuse of his office, the Deputy Governor has continuously diverted county enforcement officers from their course of duty to work in his farm. A portion of land allocated to him by his father. Since Mr. Speaker came into office, there has been at least 5 officers working in the farm, a clear demonstration that the Deputy Executive in Chief is misusing the staff of the county. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the 20th of December 2023, the Deputy in Chief deployed a contingent of about 20 county officers under the supervision of the sub-county administrator to arrest his brother, one, Ruben Monda Orangi Watundura, for cutting down trees that his brother Ruben Monda Orangi had planted. Mr. Speaker, in exercise of his executive power, brother was smuggled into the police vehicle and was incarcerated in Kiambu. One without an occurrence book, that is an open booking. Mr. Speaker, sir, at around 18 hours, the OCS denied the sickly Ruben Monda Impeachment, who suffers from high blood pressure and diabetes, and he was immediately transferred to Kisii police station. Mr. Speaker, at the Kisii police station, the helpless Ruben Monda Impeachment was further detained without a booking on the occurrence book or bill, and without the option of bail or bond, pending presentation to court. Mr. Speaker, at one point, the sickly Monda Impeachment had to be rushed to the Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital for an urgent medical intervention. However, reaching the hospital, Ruben Monda Impeachment was never attended to by the doctors, as the officer commanding the station, Kisii Central Police Station, received instructions to immediately take him back to the police. With his condition now deteriorating, Ruben Monda Impeachment was paid back to the police station until past midnight 20 minutes, where he was issued with a cash bail of Kenya shillings 30,000. The medical condition of the old man deteriorated to the extent that he was hospitalized in Coptic Hospital for about 3 weeks, and since then he has been on injected insulin, a condition that was never there before. Round 3, Mr. Speaker. The Deputy Governor interfered with the appointment of the vacant position of the commercial manager of Wasco by attempting to bribe the managing director, Ms. Rusi Waito Washira, a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000. This was in the month of May 2023. And that transaction, for purposes of record, Mr. Speaker, was done through M-Pesa platform. Mr. Speaker, sir, this act contravened Article 75 of the Constitution of Kenya. The Deputy Governor's engagement confers and all complicity behavior weighs down to gross misconduct and gross abuse of office. Mr. Speaker, ground 4, crimes under the national law. The actions of the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 800,000 only, thereby conferring a financial benefit on himself, and subsequently sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to Wasco Managing Director, so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interviewee. It is in violation of section 6(1) A, C, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the Bribery Act, that provides a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a financial or other advantage intending that a relevant function or activity, Mr. Speaker, is performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe in anticipation of, or as a consequence of a person requesting for, or agreed to receive or accepted a financial or other advantage an activity is performed improperly by that person or another person. Mr. Speaker, sir, I now table the evidence and request that my good friend, the Honorable Karen Magara, seconds this motion.
Thank you, Honorable Magara.
So attached there with Mr. Speaker, I've tabled the evidence that all the assisting documents for the motion that I've just tabled. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second this substantive motion that is properly before this House. Under Article 185 of the Kenyan Constitution in 2010, the cardinal functions of the County Assembly are to legislate, represent, oversight the executive on behalf of the people and taxpayers. Honorable Speaker, the draftsman of the Constitution bestowed upon the County Assembly the powers to impeach any state officer whose conduct contravenes the terms of the Constitution, statutes, and international law. The wisdom of having the impeachment clause in our legal system is to use constitutional structures of a democratic state to tame the excesses of the executive. In the words of the great statesman, Abraham Lincoln, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We therefore need checks and balances. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order number 61 of our Standing Order states, the standing orders relating to removal of the governor shall apply with the necessary modifications to the removal of the deputy governor. This in effect means that the Standing Order number 60 and Article 181 of the Constitution of Kenya, which relates to the removal of the governor, equally apply to the removal of the deputy governor. Honorable Speaker, the motion mover has ably demonstrated how, by deeds of conduct, the embattled deputy governor, grossly violated the Constitution of Kenya, which he swore to uphold and protect. Criminals restricted and received a bribe and obtained money by false pretense, contrary to the Bribery Act and the Penal Code Cap 63 of the laws of Kenya. As a state officer, contravenes the tenets of leadership and integrity under the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. Honorable Speaker, the deputy governor needs to be held accountable for receiving a bribe of 800,000 from one Dennis Mokaya Misati, also due to help him secure an employment with the Gusii Water and Sewage Company, in which Kisii County is the major stakeholders. Honorable members, I want to emphasize this point that WASCO is a limited company, and therefore it is only operated, or some actions are only carried out by directors. Therefore, it defeats logic why the deputy governor was soliciting money, by extension taking it to the managing director, or sending it to the managing director, who he knows properly that she doesn't have the power to employ. So, Honorable Speaker, you may remember that on 25th August 2022, the deputy governor took and subscribed to oath of office in the manner and form prescribed by the first schedule of the County Governments Act 2012 and in compliance with the Article 74 of the Constitution. He subsequently proceeded in compliance with the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 to sign and subscribe to the Leadership and Integrity Code in the manner and form prescribed by EACC, in the presence of EACC officers and a High Court judge. Therefore, his conduct can only be described as gross misconduct. Honorable Speaker, the conduct of the Deputy Governor fly in the face of values and principles of governance enshrined in Article 10 and 232 of the Constitution. They include rule of law, integrity, transparency, accountability, human rights, good governance, fair competition, and merit as a basis of appointment. Honorable Speaker, this draws me to an intention of the Deputy Governor trying to influence an appointment, therefore not having the process to take its due process. The conduct of the Deputy Governor is a clear case of abuse of office. Section 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crime 2020-2003 states that a person who uses his office to improperly confer a benefit on himself or anyone else is guilty of an offense. Honorable Speaker, this Honorable Speaker, this is a divine moment for this House to demonstrate that it doesn't condone acts of impunity and violation of the law. We need to send a clear signal to the nation that as a constitutional organ, we must demonstrate fidelity to the law and the spirit of constitutionalism. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, I want to state that integrity and leadership values require that we become above-board. That the Deputy Governor has indeed demonstrated that he doesn't arise to the occasion by giving the Kisii County, where the person in question, who is the Excellency Dr. Monda, is an elder in a church, an elder in an SDA church. So what are we saying? We need to demonstrate that indeed it is wrong, and even soliciting a 36-year-old with 800,000. Where does he think, if him as a Deputy Governor has not been able to be comfortable with the salary that he's getting, and subjecting a young man of 36 years to be requested to give 800,000, where are our morals as a society? Honorable Speaker, I want to second the motion and implore against, make a plea to my honorable members that as a House, we did also swear to protect and uphold the Constitution. And therefore, this is a call for all of us to stand and be counted in this important process. We must be fair, we must be objective, and we must be firm even how we execute our mandate as an honorable House. I beg to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Magala. Honorable members, I now question, which is that result of the provision of Article 181, subsection 1A and C of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010. That lays down the laws upon which the deputy governor may be removed from office of the deputy governor by way of impeachment, as read together with the procedure laid down under Section 33 of the County Government Act, as further read together with the Standing Order number 661 of the Kisii County Assembly Standing Orders. And whereas Article 10, as read together with Article 73, 74, 75, and the 232 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, provides for accountability for state officer to the public for decisions and actions as a key guideline principle of leadership and integrity. Further aware that Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act provides for the General Leadership and Integrity Code, with breach of public trust, failing to carry out the duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office to unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct the duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Article 10, 27, 73, 2P, and 232, and the practicing, preferring, and engaging in corruptive or unethical practices, and engaging in actions that pull the person. And further, aware that Section 11, 1, 2A, 1, and C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act that provides that a public officer himself or others and shall not accept favors from a person who has an interest that they may be affected by the carrying out of the public officer his duties, and shall not, for the personal benefits of himself or another, use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duties. And further, aware that Section 6, 1A, C, and 2, 3 of the Bribery Act that provides a person commits the offense of receiving the bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a financial or other advantage, intending that a relevant function or activity be performed properly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for or agreeing to receive or accepting a financial or other advantage, an activity is performed improperly by that person or another person. Honourable members, further aware that the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Dr. Monda Robert, has still failed to uphold the oath of office, and instead he has grossly violated the Constitution of Kenya, has abused the office, and his conduct is wanting. Honourable members, yes, honourable members, the County Assembly now resolves to remove His Excellency Dr. Robert Monda from office of the County Deputy Governor of Kisii by way of impeachment pursuant to Article 181, subsection 1A and C of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Section 33 of the County Government Act 2012, and the County Assembly Standing Orders, number 61, as read with 60 on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of the Constitution or another law. Whereas Article 179, 4, first deputy chief executive power on the deputy governor, and whereas in the consideration of the provision of Article 10 and 73, subsection 1A, 3, and 4 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, insofar as it connotes to the manner in which the state officer is expected to exercise assigned authority. Article 71, Article 75, subsection 1 of the Constitution, as read with section 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, and 32, 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and section 9, and 11, subsection 1, 2A, 1, and C of the Public Officer Ethics Act obliged a state officer to behave in all senses in a manner that is devoid of comprising public or official interest in favor of a personal interest. Honourable members, the Deputy Governor actions of requesting for a bribe, receiving a bribe is made to compromise the integrity of the recruitment decision of WASCO, and the same is driven by reporting, favoritism, improper and inferior motives, and for corrupt purposes is complete disregard of the provision of Article 73, 2P, and Article 73C. By virtue of the Deputy Governor requesting and receiving a bribe of 800,000, he is in breach of the provision of Article 232, which obliges the public officer to observe the value and the principles of public service that include high standard, professional ethics, fair competition, and merits as the basis of appointments and promotions, and Article 73, 2T of the Constitution requires that all state officers to be accountable to the public for their decisions and actions. The Deputy Governor, Dr. Robert Monda, violated Article 10, 73, 75, and 232 of the Constitution, which binds the state officers while discharging their duties in office in that area. The Usi Water and Sanitation Company advertised for various job vacancies in April 2023, and the said Deputy Governor allotted Dennis Mukai's father that he could secure his son a job upon paying a bribe of 800,000. Only upon his shortlisting and being interviewed for the post. The Deputy Governor, sorry. Not the reading is so wide. Sometimes it might be that I need to drink some water. Yes, honorable members. The Deputy Governor used his office to improperly confer benefits to himself when he solicited the sum of 800,000 from one Dennis Mukaya and his family in the project to secure him a job for the said post of a commercial manager of WASCO, an entity of Kisii County Government. Honourable members, the Deputy Governor received a sum of Kenya shillings 799,000 through M-Pesa platform as follows. The first tranche was on 28 May 2023, Kenya shillings 249,000, sent in 3 tranches of Kenya shillings 150,000, 49, and 50,000 Kenya shillings by Dennis Mukaya. On telephone on mobile numbers 072 and 5 487300 to the Deputy Governor. This is Safaricom line 0711 860700. The second one was Kenya 250 to the Deputy Governor. This Safaricom line being 0711 860700. And the last was in the sum of Kenya shillings 200,000, which was delivered to his office in Usista in Kaz. Honourable members, the Deputy Governor, in an attempt to influence the award of a contract of employment to Dennis Mukaya, the Deputy Governor sent via M-Pesa a sum of Kenya shillings 100,000 to the Managing Director Wasco in order to influence her to employ the Secretary Mukaya, which request was not ascended to by the Managing Director, and the money was returned via M-Pesa to the Deputy Governor. When realizing the Deputy Chief Executive Authority, first in the Deputy Governor, was there need for the Deputy Governor to increase the value of the Managing Director to give Dennis Mukaya the said post? That is a question the mover was asking. Mr. Dennis Mukaya completed the counter-sample to in his oversight of university, as the mover said. The so-called Dennis Mukaya complained to him as the MCA and as a person who was the on oversight, as he explained. Mr. Dennis Mukaya thereafter registered a complaint and recorded a statement with ESCC and submitted, among other documents, the advertisement from Wasco on the fact and post to the field, his letter of application for the job, the invitation letter from Wasco to attend the interview, and this a statement from the month of May 2023, stating the transfer 249 to the Deputy Governor. Despite the huge payment made, honourable members, Mr. Dennis Mukaya and his family never secured the job. On informing the Deputy Governor that he will be forced to make a formal complaint to the Anti-Corruption Commission on the matter, the latter threatened his life and of his family. Consequently, he forced the former to go into IT. Ground 2, abuse of office. The action of the Deputy Governor, Honorable His Excellency Dr. Monda, of using his office to solicit for Kenya shillings 800,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit to him and subsequently sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to Wasco Managing Director so as to influence out of a contract of employment to preferred interview. He has abused the office of the Deputy Governor and in breach of Article 73, 75 of the Constitution of Kenya and Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act by breach of public trust, failing to carry out duties of his office in a professional, transparent, and accountable manner, using his office to unlawfully enrich himself, failing to conduct the duties of his office with impartiality and objectivity in accordance with Article 10, 27, 73, subsection 2, and 232, and practicing favoritism and engaging in corruptive or unethical practices and engaging in actions that could be a person. Honourable members, the Deputy Governor is in violation of Section 11, subsection 1, 2A, 1, and C of the Public Officers and Acts Act that provides that a public officer shall not use his office to improperly enrich himself or others and shall not accept favors from a person who has an interest that may be affected by the carrying out of the public officer's duties and shall not, for the personal benefits of himself or others, use or allow the use of information that is acquired in connection with the public officer's duties. As well as section 60, 1, subsection A, C, 2, and 3 of the Bribery Act that provides a person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a financial or other advantage intending that the relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe and in anticipation of or as a consequence of a person requesting for or agreeing to receive or accepting financial or other advantage, an activity is performed improperly by the person or another person. One of the members, he immediately used the office to intimidate and cow his family into IT, fearing for their lives in contravention of Section 4 of the Integrity Act 2012. In furtherance of the abuse of office, honourable members, the Deputy Governor has continued diverted county enforcement officers from their course of duty to work in his farm, a portion of land allocated to him by his father. Since he came into office, there has been at least 5 officers working in the farm, a clear demonstration that the Deputy Executive in chief is misusing the staff of the county government of Kisii. On the 20th December 2023, honourable members, the Deputy Executive in Chief employed the conditions of about 20 county officers under the supervision of the sub-county administrator to arrest his brother, one Ruben Monda, Olang Matundura, for cutting down trees that his brother Ruben Monda, Olang had planted. In the exercise of this executive power, the Deputy Executive in Chief ensured his handicapped brother was tangled in the police vehicle and was incarcerated in Keumbu police station for 3 hours without an occurrence booked as OP booking. At 18:30 hours, the OCS denied the sick Ruben Monda, Olang, who suffers from high blood pressure and diabetes, and he was immediately transferred to Kisii Central Police Station. At the Kisii Police Station, the helpless Ruben Monda, Olang, was further detained without a booking, that's OP, and without the option of paying or pending presentation report. At one point, the sick Monda Olang had to be last to Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital for an urgent medical interventions. However, on reaching the hospital, Ruben Monda Olang was never attended to by any doctor as the OCS Kisii Central Police Station received instructions to immediately take him back to police station. With his condition now deteriorating, Ruben Monda Olang was sent back to the police station until 0020 hours, where he was issued with a cash pay of 10,000. The medical condition of the old man deteriorated to the extent that he was hospitalized in Optic Hospital for about 3 weeks, and since then he has been on injected insulin, condition that was not there before. I think the medical guys, they know all that. 3, close misconduct. The deputy governor appeared with the appointment of the vacant position of commercial manager of Wasco by attempting to bribe the managing director, Lucy Wachila, the sum of 100,000. This was in the month of May 2023. This act contravened Article 75 of the Constitution. The deputy governor is engagement, converse and complicity behavior boils down to gross misconduct and the gross abuse of office. 4, crime and national law. The action of the deputy governor, His Excellency Dr. Robert Monda, of using his office to source for 800,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit on himself and subsequently sending 100,000 to Wasco managing director so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interview. It is in violation of Section 6, Subsection 1A, C, and 2 and 3 of the Bribery Act that provides the person commits the offense of receiving a bribe if the person requests, agrees to receive, or receives a financial or other advantage, intending that the relevant function or activity be performed improperly by that person receiving the bribe, and in anticipation of all as the consequences of a person requesting for or agreeing to receive or accepting financial or other advantage, an activity is performed improperly by that person or another person. Yes, point of order, Honorable Waraja.
Mr. Speaker, I'll stand on the standing order number.
Wait this one.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for the record, my name is Mracha Henry, the FCA Basi Central and also the Majority Leader. Mr. Speaker, I stand under standing order number 93, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, whereas the standing order number 61 and read together with the standing order number 6 of the Kisii County Assembly standing orders provide for the procedure of the removal of from the office, the holder of the office of the Deputy Governor. And whereas the standing order number 60, Rule 4 requires that the motion for impeachment to be disposed of within 3 days of being placed on the order paper, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, aware that the provisions of Article 47 require that every person has a right to administrative action that is expeditious, efficient, lawful, reasonable, and procedurally fair. Further aware that pursuant to Article 196 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the County Assembly is mandated to conduct its business in an open manner and public participation and involvement in the legislative and other business of the County Assembly and its committees. And Section 3 of the County Government Act gives the objectives and purpose of an act as to provide to public participation in which the conduct of the activities of the County Assembly as required under Article 196 of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. And whereas the motion has been moved by the mover and the seconded, Mr. Speaker, I hereby beg to move the motion of adjournment to allow the people of Kisii County, Mr. Speaker, to give their views by way of public participation, either by memoranda or a questionnaire or any other manner suitable to the clerk on this motion for removal from office of Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, Mr. Speaker, by way of impeachment. Mr. Speaker, as you know, Mr. Speaker, Dr. Robert Monda, who is the Deputy Governor, was elected together with the Governor in the same position, Mr. Speaker, as the Deputy Governor and the Governor as the Governor. Now, these people who elected him, Mr. Speaker, it's fair for us as honorable members to give them a chance, Mr. Speaker, to come and participate in public participation, to know the nitty-gritty and what the Deputy Governor, Mr. Speaker, did, so that they can give few views on this impeachment, Mr. Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I therefore now move the motion pursuant to standing order number 93 that the debate be now adjourned, Mr. Speaker, to allow these people to, Mr. Speaker, go for public participation, and ask my friend and a good friend, Honorable Jeremiah, Mr. Speaker, to second my motion.
Order.
Thank you.
Order. Let us do procedural order. Order. I have said order. You know, he has moved the motion of adjournment. Order. Honorable Molacha, order. You have moved the motion. You have moved the motion. We second the secondment, then I give you time to contribute over the same, and we agree. Honorable Gary. Order. Everybody's getting time to contribute. Honorable Gary. Yes, Honorable Gary. What is happening? Can you check? Yes. No, just check the other one there. Order. That one is it working? That one is it working? Order. Honorable Gary, you can use the one which is working. Order. Yes, you can use that one, Honorable Gary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Hello, Honorable Gary said most of the adjournment for the debate on the vice motion. Honorable members, there are two issues here. Honorable members, honorable leader, honorable members, what are you voting for?
No, we are giving point of information.
Honorable members.
The motion has been seconded. Why do you make what are you doing?
Honorable members, order. Two issues. Honorable boss, two issues. two issues as recent here. There was a motion on the impeachment, and the leaders requested that we adjourn this motion with the reasons he has given. Everybody is getting time to contribute. So, be guided, honorable members, because the leader has moved the motion on adjournment. Allow me, honorable members, to do what to do, then allow you time and you participate, period. Honorable members, nobody can take what I see, honorable leader, and you know that you are a leader. Honorable members, whereas, yes. Honorable members, whereas, and you know this is very critical. Leaders listen has raised a very critical issue, which as else. It is true, all of us, we do accept that a motion has come for the removal of our deputy governor. Leader.
Are you going to?
No, honorable leader. Leader. Honorable Mulaja. Honorable Mulaja. Honorable Mulaja. Honorable Ismail.
Yes.
Can you allow me to do my work?
Yes.
And I will give you time to contribute.
That's what I'm asking.
So listen. Honorable members, as I've said, everybody is going to contribute over this, but we must dispense the issue of the leader which he has raised. And that is the procedure. Honorable members, standing order number 60, subsection 4, states that upon the expiry of 7 days after notice given, the motion on the impeachment of the deputy governor shall be placed on the order paper and shall be disposed of within 3 days. Honorable leader, you are not teaching me about the law. Honorable members, the review and opinion of the standing orders is provided for under Article 124 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, and Section 4, 1A of the County Government Act number 17 of 2012, which states that a county assembly may make standing orders consistent with the position and this act regulating the procedure of the county assembly, including, in particular, orders for the proper conduct of the proceedings. Honorable members, Article 196 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, states that the county assembly shall conduct its business in an open manner and all its sitting and of those of its committees in the public. Further, yes, Section 14, sorry for that. Further, be noted, be Section 14. Further, the Constitution provides that the Assembly shall facilitate public participation. Let us listen very carefully. The Assembly shall facilitate public participation and involvement in the legislative and other business of the County Assembly and in its committees. Further, honorable members, Section 3 of the County Government Act 2020 gives the objects and the purpose of the Act as provide for public participation in the conduct of the activities of the County Assembly as required under Article 196 of the Constitution. Honourable members, the right to fair administrative action is provided for under Article 47, and the right to fair hearing is expressed under Article 50, all of which shall be accorded to the Deputy Governor, His Excellency Honorable Robert Monda, before a decision on whether he should be removed from office by way of impeachment is litigated by this honorable House. Honorable members, in view of the foregoing and taking into consideration of Article 196 and 124 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Honourable members, in view of the foregoing and taking into consideration Article 196 and 124 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, and Section 3, F and 14(1)(a) of the County Government Act, number 17 of 2012, it is therefore incumbent upon this House to conduct public participation within 7 days, on which this motion on the removal from office by the way of impeachment of the Deputy Governor, Robert Monda, it is in law, honorable members. Honorable members, I have read the law. You will want to refer and read. Honorable members, the Deputy Governor, Robert Monda, has a right to fair hearing in which this expediency is decent and lawful, reasonable, and procedurally fair. By doing so, or by doing this, honorable members, this House shall have fulfilled this constitutional obligation of ensuring fair administrative action and the fair hearing pursuant to Article 47 and the 50 of the Constitution, honorable Post Maiduna. You can hear it there. It is very clear. Honorable members, I now therefore propose a question which is that pursuant to standing order number 93, the debate be now adjourned. Honorable members, it is now your time to debate. And yes, honorable Rita. What happened with those things? For working. Reader. It might be forced to use what's suffering. Use this one. Sorry for that. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I wish you first day.
I will first the Speaker and the gallery. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I rise to oppose the motion moved by the leader majority because it's not procedural. Mr. Speaker, Plan Order number 60 provides for 3 days after the notice of motion which was due moved. Mr. Speaker, we want to assist you to do your work well in a procedural manner. Mr. Speaker, we are talking about a human being by the name of the Deputy Governor. Mr. Speaker, let us give it the quickest way to dispense with justice. The leader majority has assured me as the numbers, and I have no doubt. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't see where we are torturing the Deputy Governor. Let us invite him here. And Mr. Speaker, also, when the order paper where the motion moved by the Honorable Siocha, my friend, the chair of implementation, I have not seen the signatures, Mr. Speaker, and I have also not seen the attachment of the evidence, Mr. Speaker, who is supposed to accompany the motion.
Remember, just have a seat. Remember, your argument is good.
Let me finish, then you will
I am advising because we are discussing Honorable Leader. We are discussing the agreement.
I will do it by right.
Honorable Batch.
Yes, I will do it by right.
Honorable members, as he has rightly put it, we are here discussing a human being. We are here discussing a person. You see, from where I see, Honorable Batch, from where I see, I have received the evidence and the FFP. Today, Order. You cannot verify right now. I am giving the election. Order, Honorable Ismail. How can you verify what has been tabled right now? Honorable Batch. How can you verify the table right now? Honorable member. Honorable Ismail, you are not happy with me. Order. One. Order. Two. Order. I will just show out your level, Ismail. Order. Order. We are discussing the adjournment of the motion. Honorable Richmond, this is not the house of argument. This is house of contribution and you debate. Honorable members, we are here to discuss the adjournment. If we agree or we disagree, then we agree the way forward. So, honorable members, let us be procedural. Let us go. No, Honorable Leader, get seated. Get seated, Honorable Leader. Order. You see, Honorable Leader, it is abuse of this seat when we are saying that I am taking orders from leader majority. That's not respectful to this seat. Honorable members, get properly guided. We are discussing on the adjournment of the motion.
And even this side you have the mics are but you switch them off.
Yes, for your procedure.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. And I want to, Mr. Speaker, to contribute, but I'm standing on the issues of procedure and Mr. Speaker on standing orders. Mr. Speaker, when our people elected us, they elected us and we are called honorable members, Mr. Speaker. And we are asking to operate openly, Mr. Speaker, where even the public is seeing what we are doing. It is very important, Mr. Speaker, that we follow the procedures of this House so that each and every member can have time to speak, Mr. Speaker. You put a question, Mr. Speaker, or you proposed a question. It is now time for members to contribute. There are members who can come and deconstruct the motion or the proposed question by Honorable Leader Majority, Mr. Speaker. And there are members who are going to support Mr. Speaker. I wish, because we are honorable members, we can give each and every member time to contribute and persuade one another in an honorable manner, where we don't shout to one another. Allow people to contribute. The only thing, Mr. Speaker, which you can guide us is on timing. The leader of minority and the leader of majority are allowed to speak for some more minutes than us, ordinary members, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, if we want, because this is a very sensitive motion of the removal of a deputy governor, Mr. Speaker, give people time and let's follow procedures. We are not going anywhere. Mr. Speaker, we have been elected by our people to do this work. Therefore, I want to ask all honorable members, if it is possible, give each and every person time. Whether he speaks against what you want, listen to that person and come with your argument also, so that we can agree. We are honorable members. I want to ask you to act honorably. Mr. Speaker, I know I'm going to get my time to contribute. Whether I support the adjournment motion, Mr. Speaker, or I don't support, but give people time so that we don't raise members for no good reason. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, honorable leader, let me remind you, honorable members, standing order number 99. Whenever the speaker or the chair of committee license any member when speaking or offering to speak, shall assume his or her seat, and the County Assembly or the committee shall be silent. These are the laws. And that's what Monda said, and I say it. Shouting is not contributing. It is time now to contribute. If necessary, we can even go for 40. Honorable Monda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to agree more with Honorable Obara James Mogoa on that. Honorable Speaker, I have never wished from my end to see this House degenerate into a shouting match, and I've never participated in a shouting match. I believe that this is a house of persuasion. That's why interrupting the speaker, because I want the speaker to get my attention. Honorable Speaker was saying, I agree with Honorable James that let's not this be a shouting match. In fact, it depicts us very negatively outside there. Sometimes we are on public media. When we shout on small things, let me make my contribution. You either agree with it, you disagree with it, we will take a vote and the majority will have their day. So it's not a matter. I do not agree also with me that people will be shouting. Honorable Speaker, let me go to the content. The content of the motion that has been moved by the leader of majority. Honorable Speaker, standing order number 60, together as read together with the Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Government Act number 17 of 2012, is what places us where we are today. The removal of a deputy governor, whose removal is a modification for the removal of governor. Honorable Speaker, Whereas I even had preliminary objections which I will not bring now because we are angry in the matter and that has been raised by Honorable the leader of majority. The standing order number 60 is very explicit on, and I take notice of about 4 things. Honorable Speaker, number 1, and you will allow me to read that standing order, that before giving notice of motion under section 33 of the County Government Act, the member shall, and Honorable Speaker, the word shall is an auxiliary verb. Honorable Speaker, which has mandatory terms, there is no option about it. That shall deliver to the clerk of the county assembly a proposed motion in writing stating the grounds and the particulars upon which the proposal is made. Honorable Speaker, it is for me and you to know whether the particulars were actually tabled in the notice of motion. It's not a question to ask now because the matter that we will transact is different. But I still doubt whether the particulars, but I do not want to work that direction. Honorable Speaker, that standing order continues to say, upon which the proposal is made for the impeachment of the governor on the ground of gross violation, provision of the constitution or the law, where there are serious reasons to believe that the governor has committed crime under the national law and international law for gross misconduct, abuse of office. But the subsequent statement is also important, that the notice of motion shall be signed by the member who affirms the particulars of the allegations contained and so forth. Honorable Speaker, allow me not to go back. I even made an observation that the notice of motion that was tabled here, Honorable Speaker, is different in form and content. The motion that we are deliberating is different in content and form than the notice that was given. Honorable Speaker, paragraph 3 of the standing order 60 says, a member who has obtained the paragraph 4, upon expiry of 7 days after notice, the motion shall be placed in other paper and shall be disposed of within 3 days. Honorable Speaker, that is not possible. I know what the leader is trying to do is to ensure that Article 25 of the Constitution on fair hearing, which is actually Article 25 of the Constitution, breathes life to freedom, the fundamental freedoms, including the right for fair trial. Article 47 of the Constitution and Article 50 also speaks to the same thing, Honorable Speaker, to be given an opportunity to be heard so that you have a fair trial. And I think that's the reason as why the leader of majority is trying now to say to bring this motion so that the Deputy Speaker has sufficient time, Honorable Speaker, to be heard. Honorable Speaker, Section 16 of the County Government Act provides, Honorable Speaker, that this opportunity will be provided long ago. Honorable Speaker, and I want to take you to that Section 16 of the County Government Act. Section 14. Section 14, paragraph 3 says, procedure and the committees of the County Assembly, and subject to standing orders made under paragraph A, the Assembly may establish committees in such a manner and for such a general special purposes as it considers fit and regulate the procedure of any committee is established. Honorable Speaker, I will qualify why I'm reading that standing order, section 14. Honorable Speaker, the anticipation, 2 minutes, the anticipation will have been, and I will demonstrate that at the point the notice of giving motion was given, the particulars, the grounds and the particulars ought to have been served to the Deputy Governor, so that the Deputy Governor should within this 3 days appear before this House. Honorable Speaker, why that is important, that's where I'm going to finish.
Yes,
that's where I'm going to finish.
We are discussing about the adjournment.
Yes.
Remember, and
because I know why you want to qualify the adjournment.
And remember, the mover, when he started, he quoted standing order number 45. So
look, it's
just 1 minute.
Honorable Speaker, for purposes of drawing practice, roll with me to the County Government Amendment Act 2020 number number 11 of 2020, Honorable Speaker. Allow me, that's the only thing I will make reference to. The County Government Amendment Act, Honorable Speaker, number 11. The amendment number 11, Honorable Speaker, because that's very important. 2020 number 1145.
Well, then when you have got it, so that has also.
No, Honorable Speaker, I've got it.
Okay, just say.
Honorable Speaker, I was saying, I wanted to qualify why within those 7 days of notice, the Deputy Speaker will have had a fair hearing. In fact, this House has to have constituted an ad hoc committee so that you will have able to.
Deputy Governor, not the Deputy Speaker.
I said Deputy Speaker also.
Yes.
Right? I said the Deputy Governor. I think the next person I'm fought. But it's me. But it's me. Honorable Speaker, let them be silent. Honorable Speaker, allow me use the provisions of the law for the removal of the Speaker to justify, to actually demonstrate why the free hearing would have been given within, and that allow me make a contribution. Allow me make a contribution. Honorable Speaker, I want to make a contribution. I'm not committed. I am not finished on the contribution. I am not saying you want
I think you have given us enough provisions. I will give you.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you. Mr. Speaker, I thank you because you. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity, and I thank you for being here. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying I thank you for being fair. You have given honorable members time to contribute. And Mr. Speaker, I'm saying they are just confusing themselves. I'm happy, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, Honorable Leader Majority stood on a point of order. That is 97. Mr. Speaker, I think that was 97. 93, Mr. Speaker. I'm asking Mr. Speaker that we adjourn the House so that we can give Honorable Deputy Governor time, sufficient time, Mr. Speaker, to prepare for advance, Mr. Speaker. And you have exactly, Mr. Speaker, read the Constitution. Article 50, Mr. Speaker, and even Article 47, Mr. Speaker. And later on, Mr. Speaker, you read Article 196, which, Mr. Speaker, requires county governments, Mr. Speaker. 196, Mr. Speaker, which requires that we do public participation, Mr. Speaker, in any business we are doing, Mr. Speaker. And then you read the County Government Act, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Yes, Undari. I am giving you a time, Undari, finish. Just finish. Just finish, then I move to the next thing. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, you read the County Government Act, which allows county assemblies, Mr. Speaker, to make standing orders or laws for the proper conduct of the House, Mr. Speaker, but which are consistent with the Constitution, Mr. Speaker. And here in the consistent with the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about Article 196, Mr. Speaker.
This is the last warning.
The standing order, Mr. Speaker, number 60, says that after the notes of 7 days, Mr. Speaker, the business shall be laid in the table or shall be moved in the house, Mr. Speaker. And then it must be discussed within 3 days, Mr. Speaker. But that one is inconsistent with the Constitution, Mr. Speaker, because there is fair hearing, Mr. Speaker, as you have read in the article number 47 and the article 50, Mr. Speaker. And also it is inconsistent with article 196, Mr. Speaker, which allows that each county assembly, when legislating and doing any other business, Mr. Speaker, their people must participate, Mr. Speaker, by way of public participation, Mr. Speaker. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Mulacha has requested that we adjourn so that he can have enough time, Mr. Speaker, so that
Order. Yes, Order.
It is a requirement that I take this motion back so that I can take them and when we reach honorable order on this resource. It is not the law. They are applying this now. So that I can Mr. Speaker. I support that, Mr. Speaker. We have given the house and said, no, class.
It's your time.
Yes. It's not ready. I can control.
Proceed. Honorable members, taking the example of Honorable Ed, let me have nothing. Honorable Speaker, sorry, session you are having this morning. This is what happens when people have no facts of impeachment. Honorable Speaker, I want to give a point of information, Honorable Speaker. Regarding standing order, I'm informing Honorable Muracha and Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, can you control me from the legal majority? Honorable Speaker, Article 181 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, Section 33 of our County Governments Act. Honorable Speaker, our standing order number 6, Honorable Speaker. All those outline the procedure of moving a governor, and the same procedure applies in moving a deputy governor, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the legal majority rose on the adjournment motion, which has already moved, Honorable Speaker, citing public participation as an excuse as to why we should adjourn this house, Honorable Speaker. I want to inform you,
Honorable Speaker, and we inform the House that Petition 209 of 2020, the County Government of Nairobi, Petition 203 of 2014, Wambura versus the Speaker, all those petitions were in regard or were about public participation, whether it was carried before the two impeachments were actioned, Honorable Speaker, or conducted and approved by the Senate, Honorable Speaker. The highest court of this land, Honorable Speaker, the Supreme Court, ruled that indeed public participation is important, but it does not apply when it comes to impeachment process, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when the Supreme Court has given a ruling, Honorable Speaker, there is no any other court that can go against that ruling, Honorable Speaker. The House is well guarded, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Maraja knows as the business, as the legal majority is going to lose terribly on this motion, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Honorable Boss, can you table those petitions in the afternoon in this house? Honorable Karen.
Honorable Speaker, Karen is spoke. Give us also time to contribute. She was the
Order. Yes, you are getting it. You are getting it. Order. Honorable Smile, for 1 hour out.
Thank you, Speaker.
Order.
Honorable members, we had one issue which was important before us. And even when we are referring the petitions which has been done, public participation and the fair hearing is very critical. And the decision we are talking about from the High Court, those are the recommendations. We cannot deal with the motion today, then you want the accuser to be here today. It is not possible. And honorable members, let us accept that the Constitution of Kenya is superior than the standing orders. Whereas the standing orders is giving us 3 days. But let us accept that the Constitution of Kenya and the other written laws, they are superior because the standing orders follows from the Constitution of Kenya, which governs us how we do business. So, my members, as much as we may be known with the standing orders, kindly read it together with the Constitution of Kenya as you make the decision, as you argue. And that is why, as the Speaker, I have read all of these. That is why, as the Speaker, I have allowed public participation to be done for the removal. We have not reached the stage of removing the deputy governor. We are saying, let the Kisii people participate and give their views. We are saying, let us give the deputy governor their hearing, such that we give him enough time so that he can make his submissions. So that now, at that point, as honorable members, you will make a decision. Honorable members, at this point, I know you want to speak. I know honorable members, you want to speak, but at the right time, because what we are saying, we are not discussing the motion on the impeachment of the deputy governor now. We are just talking. We want to adjourn. So, even if we contribute all of us, the issue is, I must put a question so that we agree, and if we agree that we are adjourning, so that we can give the deputy governor time to submit his, and the public participation is upon him. So, at this point, honorable members, Honorable Mondari, I know you are doing with the same courts in the law. I now put a question which is pursuant to the standing order, number 93, the debate be now adjourned. As many of the same opinion say aye. Aye. As many of the other opinion say nay, the aye have it. Honorable members, I now, this is very critical, I now direct the clerk of the county assembly to put an argument for the public participation, because we must be very clear in the local dailies, because I don't want this house to be accused that we have removed the deputy governor from office without doing what the law requires. For those who are referring the cases, the petitions, I have also gone through them. Go to the Wambora case, go to Songo case. This was done, public participation. Further, I will issue a notice of 7 days to the deputy governor on October Monda to invite him to appear before this house to rescue himself from the judges. Honorable members, you will have an opportunity to interrogate the deputy governor at that time, so that you can make the decision. At that time, the people of Masigesi, they would have said. At that time, the people of Masiba would have said, as well as the people of Mokumongo, they would have said. Honorable members, at that point, next order.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we have exhausted the business of the day.
Now we are told there are people that we have.